So, this is the pressure exchange chamber.
No, this is the prep room. There are two
Can we
levels.
skip?
The actual pressure exchange chamber is downstairs. How do you know that? Alice told me. She was one of the people who investigated this room.
Did you talk to her when you were waiting for us back in the warehouse?
Yeah.
Well, let's head downstairs then.
Good idea.
So this is the real thing.
Seems like it.
Why do they have something like this here?
Well, this is just what Alice told me, but
apparently the pressure inside the facility was a lot higher than the pressure outside. Can I skip? That was part of a system designed to keep the virus from getting in. It did mean, however, that we need to go through a decompression process in order to get outside.
remember all those suits along the wall of the prep room? Those keep you from getting infected. We won't even be able to enter the pressure exchange chamber if we don't have them on.
I see. Whoa, whoa, whoa! That newspaper article was right?
Unfortunately, that seems pretty likely.
So the air out there is teeming with Radical 6.
Yeah.
Something's been bothering me.
What is it?
Aren't you saying that if we put on those suits, we can go into the pressure exchange chamber and go outside, right?
Oh. No, we can't do that. The door beyond the pressure exchange chamber is locked up tight.
Damn it. Just one door between us and freedom.
Well, if you look at it that way, it's the same as the number 9 door.
Okay, yeah, but...
Whatever. We need to be focusing on finding that Accelavir. Quark needs it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll go look around upstairs. You two take this floor, all right?
Got it.
Okay.
We looked everywhere we could think of, but turned up nothing. Eventually, I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. Hey, what do you think the deal is with the stuff about the world being infested with some crazy virus? A pandemic seems like it would make the news, but I don't remember hearing anything. Wait a minute. You mentioned it, didn't you? Back when Dio was asking questions? We were in the infirmary. It was right after Quark lost it.
Any of you guys heard anything about any sort of viral pandemic?
Well, no. But...
And then Alice said,
I have heard rumors about a virus being used as a bioweapon.
I feel like there's bugs on me. Yeah. So what's the rumor she was talking about? I got the feeling you and Alice were talking about the same thing. Clover, what do you know? What are you and Alice anyway? I heard you guys belong to some sort of organization, but what is it? Clover was quiet for a long time. She bit her thumbnail and looked down at the floor. Then finally she lifted her head and met my eyes.
Fine. I think I can trust you. Just don't tell Alice, okay? Promise?
Promise. Clover nodded and began to talk. I listened with rapt attention, at a complete loss for words. Here's what she said. Alice and I are agents of the SOIS, SOIS, which is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. SOIS stands for Special Office of Internal Security, and we're an elite intelligence division that investigates potentially disrupted or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or citizenry. Our existence hasn't been made public, so there are only a few people who even know we exist. You're probably wondering how I even got involved in something like that, huh? Well, it started when I met Alice. Yup. I told you that I've played the notary game twice before, right? Well, this was after the second time, so about a year ago. We just escaped, and we're all stuck in this SUV barreling across the desert. I was driving, and that's when I saw her. Yup. Alice. That was her. That was her. That's how, you know, a lot of things are connected. Everything's connected. She was standing next to the road with her thumb out. She was already working for the SOIS, and she's been on her way to the building we've been trapped in as part of her investigation. Dressed like that, really? Dressed like that. She was already part of the SOIS. Dressed like that. But on the way there, her car had broken down. Dressed like that. We offered her to give her a ride, of course. After she got in, we started talking, and it turned out that Alice had gone to tip that the terrorists she was after were in the building we were trapped in. We couldn't see how playing the notary game had anything to do with terrorists, but Alice had a suggestion. Maybe the two people who trapped you in there are the terrorists. That didn't seem very likely to us, but we were chasing after them anyway, so we decided to bring Alice with us. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. As far as we know, they're still out there now, on the run. Wait, hold. In 999, two of them were already dead by Hongo. One of them was dressed like Snake, which he mistakenly thought was Snake, and the other one was the captain guy, and he killed them like in the captain's quarters while we were all searching around. And the ninth guy, he died because friggin' Hongo gave him the wrong information, so all who survived was Hongo. Anyway, we were taken back to the SYS headquarters and put into custody. I guess they thought they had to be some kind of connection between us being kidnapped and the terrorist group they were investigating. But they must not have found anything, because after a few days of questioning, they let us go. We all went home and returned to our lives. But things didn't go back to the way they've been. My mom got real worried about me and my brother since we've gotten kidnapped twice now. So she hired bodyguards for us. Oh, and I ain't even told you about my brother, have I? He's super awesome, for one. And he was in both of the last two nunnery games too. So anyways, we've been grabbed twice, but the people behind the two nunnery games were totally different. That didn't matter to my mom though. So after all that, these huge men in black suits followed me and my brother everywhere, even to the bathroom. It was awful. We were always being watched. People were looking at us funny because we were being followed around by a bunch of creepy looking guys. I couldn't stand it. Just when I thought I'd finally be free, all that was waiting for me was another kind of prison. The only time I was really happy was when I was hanging out with my brother. So we were talking it over one day and we decided to leave. Like, run away. So we did. After that, we lived on our own. I worked in a cafe and he composed music. He plays the harp and he started writing this kind of new agey music. It got kind of popular, so we didn't have to worry too much about surviving. Sometimes he'd play at little venues like coffee houses and stuff, and his fans would show up and listen to him play and cry. Or some of them would meet on their own and recite stuff from the book he'd written and play songs. I know that sounds kind of like weird and culty, but they do that stuff on their own, okay? My brother doesn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, we did that for a while, and then one day, Alice showed up. I need your help, she told us. We need people who can do what you can do. So we went to the location she gave us, and it turned out to be the headquarters of the SYS, where they'd taken us after the second nunnery game. They put us in a room with about a dozen or so other people who were all about the same age as us. A bunch of them looked familiar too. It only took a moment to realize how we knew each other. They were the kids from the first nunnery game. We were all excited to see each other again, and we hugged and shaking hands and stuff. And then Alice walked in. The whole room went quiet. She walked up to the podium and looked around the room, making eye contact with each one of us. Right now, a terrorist organization is preparing for a major attack. They plan to trigger a viral pandemic. If they succeed, they will strike a massive blow against all of humanity, not just one country. It's possible that we, as a species, will die out completely. We are doing our best to prevent this, but we need your help. You're what we call espers. You have the ability to access the morphogenic field. We need that. I'm guessing you don't know what any of that is, but basically we can do this thing that's kind of like telepathy. I mean, it isn't really telepathy, but that's probably the closest thing, okay? Espers can resonate their consciousness with another person through this thing called the morphogenic field. The purpose of the game was to research that ability. So they kidnapped kids who have the potential to do it, and threw them into the game. Alice had gathered up all the kids from that experiment. Well, I mean, it had to be 9 years since it happened, so we weren't really kids anymore. Technically, it would be 10 by this point. I mean, this time right now, in-game. Anyway, everybody she brought in was an Esper. That included me and my brother, of course. I bet you think I'm just making all this up, huh? I don't blame you. It is pretty crazy. I mean, I was even starting to forget I could do that stuff. So when I heard Alice's story, I was like, screw that. I was trying to move on with my life, and now some shady government creeps wanted me to use some weird ability I had for them? No way. I wasn't even sure I could do it anymore. Some of the others felt differently though, and they told Alice they'd do it. It was a job after all. Most people wouldn't turn down salary like that. Oh right, I forgot to tell you. She told us how much they pay us if we help. It was a lot. More wealth than you can imagine. But I was still totally against doing it. My brother told me he'd go along with whatever I decided, so I decided we were leaving. A couple days passed, and then Alice showed up at our apartment. She didn't waste time. The people behind the first Nori game might have been a part of the terrorist organization Alice and the SOIS were after. Wasn't that, wasn't that she asked something that I might want to know more about? That got me curious. My brother too. But the clincher was what Sam told us. He was one of the guys that got abducted with us for the second notary game. She called him on the phone right then and there and handed it to us. You guys are the only people who can do this. We don't know where Junpei is. He's gone off to travel the world, looking for Akane. Yeah, we don't know what happened to Akane. Like seriously, she and Santa ran off somewhere, but we don't know what happened after that. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Please. Just do me a favor and help out Alice. Help Alice out. Junpei equals like 7 another participant from the second Noni game. Akane equal one of the participants behind the second Nori game. 7 was a Japanese policeman, which was probably how Alice got in touch with him. Anyway, that did it. My brother and I agreed to join SYS. For the next couple of months, all we did was train. Half the time, it was general knowledge and technical skills an SYS agent needed, and the other half was learning to strengthen our Esper's ability. They actually known about Espers for quite a while, and they had a lot of techniques that helped us get better and stronger. After several months of hard work, we were finally ready for our first field missions. Mine was an infiltration. My brother stayed at base, so I could relay information back through him. I was supposed to sneak into a research facility, posing as one of their workers, then use my morphogenetic field to transmit what I found back to my brother. But everything went wrong. It was a trap. The whole research facility was fake, and I got captured. Alice had to come and rescue me. I've been sending information about the inside of the facility to my brother, and Alice used that information to come and find me. As soon as she got there, she picked me up and carried me out. As soon as she got there, she picked me up and carried me out. Yep. I was relieved and happy to be alive and free, but I also felt ashamed and miserable. While she was carrying me back out, I started to cry. She was just so cool and I wasn't. I wanted to be just like her. Huh. Oh, yeah, there's so much. Why am I reading this? Why am I reading this? Ugh. Ugh. So from that day onward, I did everything I could to be more like Alice. Our infiltration ended in failure, but we did manage to get something useful. In fact, we were able to figure out where their headquarters was. The directors decided that December 25th, 2028 would be the day we were strike. And you know why we have all this text? Because this is going to lead to, you know, this ending, you know, Clover's ending. Because, hello, like each time we get these long pages of text, that leads to the ending of that person. So, this time I promised myself I wouldn't screw it up. I was finally going to get some answers about something that had been with me for most of my life. But then on December 22nd, 3 days before the raid, Alice and I were attacked by people in gas masks while we were while we were going over our plans. And when you woke up, you were in the warehouse.
Yeah.
All that talking seemed to have tired Clover out. It tired me out too. I had to read the entire thing. She sighed and her long hair swayed as she moved. Hey, I got a few questions.
What are they?
Well, first off, your, powers, I guess? I'm guessing you can't use them right now.
Yeah. I'm not really sure why. I've been sending my brother messages ever since I woke up, but...
No response?
Yeah. If there was another Esper here, they could make me stronger. But that's just wishful thinking. Wait.
What?
Well, if there's someone else who's stronger than me, then they kind of absorb my powers. Maybe... No, never mind. That's probably not it.
Right, whatever. I have some other questions, so moving on. I think I understand what Alice was talking about now. They were trying to spread that virus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who are they?
Well, I can't tell you that.
What? Why not? You told me all that other stuff, but this is too much?
Well, Alice would be mad at me.
I already told you I wouldn't tell her. Fine. Let me rephrase. When are they going to do it?
Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't have gone to all that trouble.
So, you don't know?
No. All we know is soon.
but that could mean just about anything.
Yeah. It could be next week or next month or even next year. Or it could have happened already.
Wait, you mean they might have already released the virus?
Wouldn't that make the most sense? Like, how about this room? Or that newspaper article? And the 3 people who were put in cold sleep.
Are you saying you, me, and Alice were frozen and the pandemic happened while we were on ice? Wait. No, that doesn't make sense. Nobody else had heard of Rackle 6 either.
Maybe they're lying.
Really? All 6 of them?
Well, if Kay really does have memory loss, then it's only 5. Quark is out too.
I guess they are a little suspicious. And what's their
For
motive?
lying? How would I know?
Then what's the motive for a terrorist organization to start a pandemic?
I heard it was something about purifying the unclean?
Purifying the unclean?
Oh. Oh. Unclean. 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 Unclean.
What? What are you doing?
Shut up. Just hold on a minute. I'm this close to remembering. Unclean. Clean. Een. Een. Een!
What is Een? She left up suddenly, excited.
Neostigmine!
Neo what?
Did you forget it already? I'm talking about this stuff.
As she spoke, she pulled something out of her pocket. It was the injection gun, complete with a vial of the medication. Oh right, I remember that. It was in the safe in the treatment center, right?
Yeah!
I didn't have any idea what it was though, so I gave it to you.
Exactly!
Are you saying you heard about this new stinging stuff before?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just remembered.
You remembered?
My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of colon esterase inhibitor. That means it's a sort of antidote for tubocurarine.
Sorry, but I still don't get it.
How easy do I have to make it? Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll start at the top, alright? The stuff I've got in here is neostigmine, which counteracts the muscle relaxant tubocurarine. Following me?
Tubercuring is the poison in our bracelets, right?
Right. It's the second thing we get injected with if we're penalized.
First is the silver rail, which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
So are you saying this new stigma keeps everyone working?
Yes! Oh my god, how many times are you going to make me say it?
So we can just inject ourselves with this if we get penalized?
Yeah! We don't have to die. We're gonna be okay. We can only pull the trigger once, though.
That means we can only use it on one person.
Yeah.
Well, it's still good news. This means one of us can break the rules once. Like, let's see.
Best way to use it would be for sneaking through the number 9 door. If somebody gets 9 points, they can open it, right? With
Yeah.
this stuff, somebody who doesn't have 9 points could still leave with them. Anyway, I'm gonna go tell Alice.
What? Hey! Clover, wait! Clover! It was too late. Clover was already on the lift and gone. Damn. I think I understandably upset. With no stairs, my only choice was to wait for the lift to come back down. As soon as it was back, I jumped on and headed upstairs. Fi! Where did Clover go? Fi! Can you hear me? She didn't say anything, just stared at me with her mouth half open. Her eyes seemed slightly glazed, and her body was unnaturally stiff. Fi? I grabbed her shoulder and shook her gently. Slowly, she raised her arm, finger drooping limply from. She gestured towards the exit that lead away from the warehouse. That way? She went out that door? Bai's only answer was a slow, shallow nod. Right, got it. Thanks. I headed for the exit, then paused. You look pretty tired. Get some rest, alright? Still no response. There was something odd about her, but catching Clover seemed like more of a priority. I turned back around, jogged out of the door towards the treatment center. Huh? This is weird. Where is everybody? I assumed Alice would be in the treatment center, so Clover would have gone to find her, but the room was empty. Luna and Tenmyoji were gone too. They left Quark, and the readout on his pod said his vitals were still normal. As far as I could tell, he was still asleep. Fine. Guess it's time to look somewhere else. I made my way out of the treatment center. And there's no one around. Okay, you seriously can't find nobody. What the hell? What's going on here? I can't find anybody. Every single room is empty. Wait, there's still one place I haven't checked. The infirmary. Hopefully they are there. I ran into the room and stopped short. I might as well run into a brick wall. My chest tightened so much I could barely breathe. No. What happened? I felt my whole body convulse. Whether from terror or nausea, I couldn't tell. My legs went limp, and I crumpled to the floor. Something sticky pressed against the palm of my hand, and I looked down to see blood. A vast warm pool of fresh blood stretching across the room, lapping at my legs and hands. Why? This can't be real. How could... Oh! Oh. 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 In the middle of the lake of blood, like an island of flesh, were bodies. They were a bloody tangle of lifeless limbs and dead eyes, with too much blood and chaos for me to tell who was who. I could pretty tell who was who just from here. Huh. They had sliced themselves open or stabbed one another? I couldn't tell. All the blood, too much. Whatever they done, it was clear what tool they used. A scalpel lay in blood next to them, its handle and blood streaked with gore. This was how they died. This tiny blade. Oh God. This is it. It's all over. This is how it ends. That's right. I have to end it. This nightmare will finally be over. Time to wake up. My fingers scraped across the floor as I picked up the scalpel. I lifted it slowly, carefully, to my neck, as if someone were guiding my hand with theirs. And joy across my throat. This was the suicide ending. Everyone dies, yay! Is this such a happy ending where everyone dies? At least, wait, there is one person left. We have not seen Kay. Where has Kay been in this ending? We have not seen him. We have not seen him at all. We know that Cork is still in the treatment part. Everyone else died, but we have not seen Kay. Where was Kay in all of this? I want to know. But unfortunately, not in this ending. Not in this ending. And this is probably the worst ending in the game. Secret Agent Woman. Secret Agent Woman. Yeah, this is probably like the worst ending out of all. Just like no resolution, a thing. Just everyone dies, for one. Cork's still in the pod. And we have no idea where Kay went. So, there. Kind of a sucky ending.